Yeah, folks, I finally did it. I did it. I hit the top rank in Skyshard. By God, you think it'd be easier if you make your own video game to hit the top rank of Archmage here? It's not easy. It took a ton of work. I have now played, I looked, almost 300 hours of our demo. I'm at 293 hours, and there's maybe a couple times I left it running for a few hours here and there, but I think 90% of that at least is legit playtime. I also had 100 hours on our main branch on Steam before we put out the demo, and I've got hours beyond that before we even were on Steam. I think I'm probably close to 500 hours in our game, and that's what it took to get to the top rank. Some of you still ahead of me. Didn't need that long. We got some big brain people out there, but I finally did it. I wanted to brag a little bit, but I also thought instead of doing like as much of a dev update today, because I know we have a big patch hitting in just a couple days, I thought instead I would just go through a run and just play some Skyshard and, you know, run through my thought process. I know this meta pretty darn well right now because I've played so much. I thought we all could learn a little something from my journey to Archmage, and maybe we'll climb even higher. Perhaps we'll fall even further, because it's really hard to climb once you get to this stage of the leaderboard. You just don't get a lot of points. You have to win like 13, 14 trophies out of 16 to even go positive. So I guess all that said, let's go ahead and hop into a new game of Skyshard. Now, the way I hit Archmage was farming my buddy Ambrose here. Ambrose is our hero that has a lot of town themed quests, and I think town right now is really just too good. I think our unit, the big tree, is too good. I think our unit compound knowledge is too good. Well, big tree might not be too good, but it's really good. Compound knowledge, I'm pretty sure, is just too good. And I'm gonna tease it now. It's getting nerfed. Ben told me I don't know how it's getting nerfed just yet, but it's getting nerfed. Stay tuned within a couple days. So you might only have a couple days of time here to farm up Ambrose into Archmage like I did. But let's see if we can hit his compound knowledge quest. If not, I think he actually has some good backup quests. Here it is: strength and numbers. The first 2 weapons you buy give you a compound knowledge. This is a unit that scales your weapons off of the number of town units you have. So we're gonna be looking for a lot of town units and some weapons. Now, we've already got a really interesting choice here. If I were a lower ranked player right now, I would take Artillery Repeater, because I think this is one of our best late game weapons. It's, you know, this explosive damage it has here. You know, it can deal a lot of splash damage. You can buff it up really nicely with Velmir the Wizard. Oh, look, compound knowledge here, one of its highest synergy plays. It's just a really powerful late game unit, but it's not very good early. And when you're at this rank, when you're this high on the leaderboard, every single trophy matters. You actually need to win trophies early in the run, not just late in the run. So I'm gonna try to find stuff like an Artillery Repeater later, but for now I think I have to take the Chameleontis, because this is a much better early game weapon, right? It just has 85 DPS. This only has 33. Has higher health, so it can like survive hits. The big laser pointer is just a little bit too slow early, I think, although not the worst. It just can be positioned around. This is more of a kind of a flexible, everyday use case sort of weapon. So we're gonna take this because I think it's the best tempo pick. Here we get our compound knowledge. This one gives our weapon +1 damage for each friendly town unit. You might think, hey, let's make sure to put it to the left. Not yet, no. It's tanking. It's just a body. Right now, we're not gonna have enough units to make that any good. Even if we buy 4 units, which we're going to try to do, it still won't hit fast enough to be worth it in these early rounds. The fact that it absorbs a shot from our opponent's weapon is far more important than its buff. So here we're gonna buy cheap shops, trying to find high health town units. Foundry has 140 health, Jeffrey only has 80. Even though I might like Jeffrey better later, because it's a faster town unit, which can have a lot of implications. For now, again, we're gonna focus on tempo, take the Foundry. Here, we're just gonna buy more stuff. Blacksmith's not our favorite hit, but it's okay, because it's a town unit and it has 90 health. Here is another foundry at 140. That's perfect. And here is another foundry at 140. That's perfect. Now you might think, hey Regis, why don't you clump all these up so that your blacksmith, which buffs adjacent town units, that's going to go off and give some extra health. Well, number one, it's just not enough health to matter this early in the game. This might go to like 143 health, which is not a significant breakpoint against weapons, hardly ever. Instead, we're actually going to play around explosive damage in case our opponent has a spellbound rocket or an artillery repeater. We don't want any of our stuff to be next to each other to deny that explosive damage. Beyond that, watch this. We're going to play around piercing damage by moving all of these out of different rows. We don't want any of these in the same row as each other, so piercing damage doesn't hit. Just spread all these suckers out as much as you can because positioning doesn't matter. We're going to put the most useless stuff up front and the most useful stuff in the back. So like this seems so like so much minutia, so you know, like Regis, no one's gonna want to do this. You don't need to unless you're at the tippity top of the leaderboard, and then I'm telling you every single trophy matters. You have to maximize like this if you're going for Archmage. You don't have to lower down, don't worry. Just play the stuff wherever you want. It'll be fine 99% of the time. I'm playing for those 1%ers. Here's that piercing damage we talked about. Right now, this is not going to get to do any splash damage to secondary units because we played around piercing. It was fine because we had so much stuff anyway. It didn't really matter, but it's okay. So now our goal is to find weapon number 2. And this is because we want to get our quest to get another unit, but also we just like weapons because they're super high tempo early. You can't get a weapon in a defense shop. So now we're going to go for a big shop to find a second weapon, which we do find 2 options here. We have the assimilator and we have the piranha plant. This is a bit of a tough call. Again, I think the piranha plant is a bit better later. This can be a unit you support well. Stuff like Mushroom Mender actually supports it pretty nicely. Assimilator, I think, does fall off a bit later, but there's 2 things I like about Assimilator right now. Number one, it has more health, 370 health. It actually is just kind of a tank in some ways. It is also faster, which makes any buffs on it a little bit better. Although, you know, Piranha Plant can get extra attacks, it can be kind of faster. But also Assimilator does need more stats here, right? It needs different tags, and we're currently missing a lot of tags. We don't have any Tinker, any Magic, any Ancient, any Nature, any Production, or any Defense units. We're not going to get any defense units. We might be able to fill in a few of those gaps though to make this slightly better. So I don't know. It's really a tough call. Probably going to take this because I like the speed buffs. That makes it slightly better for Compound Knowledge. Not that we're going into Compound Knowledge just yet necessarily, but it's a possibility. Now, this is tough because we could look for more tags. Like this is well, we have a structure already, so that's fine. But this is a nature unit, which you don't currently have. But I think we just take the better town unit, which is the post office. It's just tankier and better. For that, I think that's a better unit for us to take. Here we can get a nature unit. It's not town, but we like trees just fine. We can put those next to each other. We'll go start our house again. Hey, a Novus unit. I guess this is Novus. What we actually need is a magic unit. This is not a magic unit. So again, we're just going to spread things out a little bit here. Probably hard to play around piercing perfectly at this stage, but we'll just generally spread things out as much as we can. Sure, something like this, yeah. All right, so again, positioning maximized here. Opponent has 2 weapons. We also have 2 weapons. Those are pretty good. Vile Totem is also interesting, but won't do enough damage to my stuff to kill me. It reflects damage, but it won't be enough to kill my weapons, so that's the important thing. The Rafflesias aren't really buffing much. I think we're going to be fine here. Looks like, yeah, we had enough stuff blocking that we got to attack their weapons before us. So we've won 2 trophies because of our tempo push. Now, starting from here, I think we have a little bit more flexibility. Production shop, it is pretty good. I'm not the strongest right now, though. I'm a little bit worried if I go for production shop, I'm going to give up a little bit too much tempo and lose a round. But it could happen anyway. If I get into a scenario where my opponent has 3 weapons and I only have 2, that could cost me. I could also go ahead and start going into the compound knowledges for their buffs as opposed to for their bodies. If I do that, I probably want to buy more town stuff. Like, production's better early, but I might give up an entire round or 2 to get it, and I don't know that it's going to be worth the payoff. I think we just shop better. I think we just go for more town, and yeah, I think lumberjack's a bit better actually, just because the health total's higher. I don't hate Azurite either, honestly, but town is still very good. Here is, ooh, okay, so I think another unit that's totally broken right now is Unstable Tesla Coil. That is the combo with Compound Knowledge in particular that's crazy strong. I have generally been buying every Tinker 5 shop in order to take a roll on an Unstable Tesla Coil, because if you hit it, it's nuts. It's pretty likely to find the Tinker 5 shops, even with 2 weapons already, which does reduce our odds of finding weapons. It's still pretty likely to be found. If we don't find it, you can kind of have problems, but I will say Assimilator has a started combat effect, which does make Supercharger here a little bit better than normal. Also, Toy Store is kind of a fine fallback, though not my favorite. So I think a Tinker 5 shop here is worth it, because Coil is just A+, and Supercharger is kind of a B, and Toy Store is kind of a C. We hit the Coil. We are happy. This probably makes Compound Knowledge is worth it now. How many town units do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8. Each of these giving 8 damage to the Coil. I don't know if that's actually true just yet. I have enough weapons that it's probably true, but it's kind of iffy. We'll try it and see. Either way, we're really happy that we hit the Coil. So we are basically set up now to have a really good run from here. Opponent's board doesn't look too scary, although this stun is a little frightening. I think since I have so many weapons in front of my Coil, that will be totally fine. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So now there's 2 things we're looking for, right? A lot of town stuff, maybe some additional town support here. You could look for like a Schola or a town hall, but I mostly just want stuff in the way. And then we're maybe looking for a big tree, which is only going to be available in a purple random shop tier 5. So, anything else, we're just probably buying like the cheapest shop every time, or maybe going for blues over whites if they're slightly more, you know, it's only one more mana, but a lot more choice, which is nice. I took 1 defense unit here. We don't desperately need defense units, but since this is town, I think we'll just stick to the town there. And here, another foundry. Sure, we are basically just a big row of foundries. We really still have no reason to position our town stuff together. We want to put the most useless town stuff up front, since we don't have any nature really. We'll put botanist up here. It's up here. Yeah, this looks pretty good, man. Still not crazy strong, but I think we'll be winning a lot of fights like this. Opponent has a Coil and a weather machine, but not a lot of support for them, so I think we should be fine. It's a name I don't recognize. I love still seeing new names in the 800+ pool, man. It's always fun. Okay, 4 trophies so far. Perfect run, man. Yeah, if it's not a big tree shop possibility, then I think we buy town units and we prioritize faster town units. And at this stage, like weapon buff town units are probably better. Oh, big shop 5, we could get our big tree. We missed the big tree, which is very sad news. Portal though can turn into a ton of value, plus it just looks so cool now. So I think we'll put a portal in, turn off these blacksmiths, make something better out of them, put an emerald here, I guess. Whatever. Okay, yeah, this was not our strongest tempo round, but we've just been really strong, so hopefully that holds. You know, I think yeah, I think it'll hold again here. Yeah, not the best stuff, although I guess mana jar is pretty good in portal, just not immediately good, just for later. These are the same speed, these entombed terrors. They're wasting a lot of damage on 1 unit. If we look at this, it's counterintuitive, but I would actually move this Azurite crystal back here so that one of the entombed terrors is faster than the other. Because what happens is when these are right next to each other and they're the same exact speed, they're going to pick the same target very often. Sometimes if they're really far apart from each other, that won't happen, because like one will target stuff along the top and one will target stuff along the bottom until, you know, there's something perfectly equidistant in the middle. But when they're this close to each other, they're usually going to target the same thing, because they're going to be basically, you know, that's going to be the closest unit to both of them. So if you stagger their speeds, what will happen is one will fire. That's gonna usually one-shot something, because these have really high damage output, particularly after some stuff has died and their damage starts to scale up, right? So they're gonna one-shot, you know, a botanist, And then the second one is not going to have the botanist in its targeting queue that, like, you know, 0.05 seconds later when it starts its targeting now, it's going to have a separate target, and it's also going to one-shot the post office. So basically, you know, they were sending like 280 damage into a botanist, 280 damage into a post office. If you had these staggered speeds, you'd be sending 140 and 140, and you'd kill 2 units, and then you'd kill 2 units. You'd literally kill twice as many units, assuming the breakpoints all line up. So just a little trick there, you know, like total speed is not always better than targeted, you know, kind of staggered speed or whatever. Yeah, I don't think we need to sell yet, really. I wouldn't hate selling an emerald, but I guess well as well is an okay sell. A lot of rhyming. Yeah, I'll just buy town stuff all day. That's fine. I'm still keeping an eye out for that big tree, I guess. I gotta remind myself to keep an eye out for that purple shop. Rep shamans are really good, but I do find myself sometimes abandoning them. I think it's good though. We gotta take it. Yeah, blue shop here is fine. Mechanic actually not bad with the unstable Tesla coil here, because it's gonna eventually get so big. The mechanic that is the coil that even every 5 seconds a coil getting buffed by the compound knowledge, it's going to be dealing 300, 400, 500 damage or whatever. Even at a 5-second speed, that's still going to be useful. So this becomes like a really slow weapon basically, because I'm not going to have any other tinkers on board likely that activate. So yeah, opponent has another double coil compound knowledge build, but we have a seemingly much better kind of board positioned into that. Just lots of stuff in the way. So we got a casino, which is a nice little town buffer, but it's not my favorite. I also suspect it might be broken right now. I don't know, it does something weird. We can go casino plus blacksmith on the portal. Jump starter, I guess we can put on the compound knowledge. This is just going to trigger that and, you know, give me a nice big buff right at the start of combat, which is pretty cool. Transmute, we do have emerald, well, and arguably corrupt shaman. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, maybe a tree is better than shaman. It is a town unit ultimately. That's what we care about. Actually, enchantments are valuable. Yes, speed boosts here are fantastic. Second chance I will take for later. I could also take small shield to protect something from the corrupt shaman, but second chance for now I'm going to put on a tree. But I'm going to look for some bamboo later, because I think it's really good on bamboo. Because any kind of like bamboo is a unit that's, when it dies, it summons replacements of itself, smaller versions, but they inherit the enchantment that the bamboo had. So you get basically 3 for 1, or actually 7 for 1 on your enchantment. Is that right? 7 for 1 sounds insane, but I think it's right. These Jeffreys don't really do a lot, do they? Because I don't really have a lot of defense units. They're fast, but so is the corrupt shaman. Oh, here could be a big tree. No big tree. Could take the warehouse. We don't really need defense stuff technically. Affinity pool is pretty bad. I guess we'll take the warehouse for now. It's kind of late to be going into production, but you know, it's just a body of nothing else. That's fine. Yeah, more fast town units all day. My positioning here is going to wreck any spellbound rockets that come our way. Any explosive damage is going to get denied. Piercing damage is a little better against us. Oh my god, we got another weapon, but it's not a great one. We don't have any defense to support that. Opponent is kind of shredding me right now, dude. I'm nervous, man. We did not get off to a good start on this. They shredded, bro. Oh no, we lost a round. Blind Toby. I'm not even really sure why, to be honest. Let me take a look at this. Why did we lose so hard? Guess they just have a lot of value off the mana machinas. The vile totems didn't like kill my stuff. Guess they just had enough defense that it took me a minute to get through it. Piranha plant, I mean, nothing really did that much damage either. I don't know. I had 3 of the top 4 damages. I guess the piercing damage did do a lot at the end of the day. Not that much though, really. No, I guess they just had enough defense. It doesn't feel like it should have been enough, but it was. I don't know. I'm kind of stunned. They have a lot of value, but I didn't notice that our portal's shadow has a purple. That's cool. Like a little bit of light is coming through. That's kind of fun, isn't it? I like that. That's a good detail. I didn't even know that. All right, let's take a reroll here. 5 power is fine. I can't believe I lost that fight. I'm still not even really sure how. It doesn't feel like a fight I should have lost. Keep buying cheap stuff. Cheap stuff. Blacksmith on bees is good. I guess we'll just delete this Warden's Flame. I don't know. Aquarium's fine. Fortune tellers, fine. At some point soon, I'm gonna have to start condensing, obviously. Like, we're running out of... You know what? I might just sell the portal and the flame at this stage. Like, just take the tempo push. We lost the round, which is making me nervous. Housing market 3, sure. We could get a town hall, which is good. Maybe just take power line. That is going to be a reason to condense my town units finally, though. And I know as soon as I do that, I'm going to run into my first spellbound rocket. I know it. I know it. I just know it. Casino, same story. I might just take a shelter. I felt like I needed more defense. It can still be good later if we find the big tree. So there's still reasons to take it. Post office or just another Azurite? I think you go Azurite here to help boost your coil and your compound knowledges. Hey, big tree? No big tree, dude. Where is the big tree? Another defense unit, I guess, here. Toy store is not that good. Nothing else really jumping out at me. Brick by brick can be fine. Foundry, another Azurite. I'm actually gonna take an Azurite, I think. Our coil's still not really as fast as it can be, so till we get that down to its max speed. Spell shield on the shelter. Boy, these suck. Actually, bot buffer I think is kind of okay. When you have 2 buffer bots, the bot buffer gives each of them an extra... I mean, I didn't even talk about buffer bot. Ignores the first 3 instances of damage that it takes. This gives you an extra hit on that. So now each of these ignore 4 instances of damage. So this is kind of like its own little buffer bot. You get like 2 extra hits out of it in essence. Okay. Still, I love this positioning so much. Give me a spellbound rocket opponent, please. No. Oh, this is explosive though, actually. Warden's Flame we are still denying. So that's good. 25% explosive. Our little defense there got hit, but they do have the coil in the back. It's just not dealing that much damage. But can I get through to this flame before I die? 600. Uh-oh. The coil's doing enough, man. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. Oh! Oh, it's so close. Oh my God, their Warden's Flame was crazy. Their pillar had so much life. Their brick by brick had so much life. I'll show you guys an interesting trick they did. Well, number one, right, they've got superchargers on their pillar, which is just a million health on their pillar, as we saw. But they've also only got 2 weapons here that can be buffed. Like the Warden's Flame can't be buffed by outside sources. So the town hall buffs going off here all hit coil and laser pointer, which means, you know, each of these have, you know, this has pierce, this has AoE, so they each get kind of extra splash damage, which, you know, this we were kind of denying from a splash damage standpoint, but the piercing damage is still going through and still hitting us really hard because, you know, this gets up to like 200-300 damage, 40% pierce on 300, right? You're talking about 120 damage from that. That doesn't sound right. 120 doesn't sound right. 10% would be 30 times 4. I guess that is right. On 300 anyway. Yeah, that's enough to kind of one-shot these town units and stuff, which clears up space for the coil, etc. That was really close. Heiner, by the way, is one of our historically best players. I think he would still be very high, but he had a bug that screwed him. I saw on Discord. Post office, sure, we'll take it. Why not? I just think it's so funny positioning like this, by the way. Hey, this could be a big tree finally. No! I cannot find the big tree to save my freaking life, dude. I cannot find the big tree to save my life. I'm thinking about taking the Scarlet Leech on the unstable Tesla coil. This is not something I've really done much, but I'm intrigued by it. I could also just maybe put the buffer bots back there to absorb all the hits. I've never done this. We're gonna try something new, which I do not recommend if you're trying to hit Archmage. Maybe not the best plan. But we're gonna try it, by God. We might have to start condensing a little more again, too, like we said. I don't know. Basically gonna get a little bit of a, you know, kind of a... I don't want this Azurite to get hit, though, so let's maybe put that up here. It is gonna also go to the compound knowledges at some level. Maybe we move it over a little bit here. If you guys didn't read this, this double triggers the unit on top, so like I get, you know, double hits off my coil, but it deals damage to the closest friendly unit, which at the moment, you know, I don't want it to get to that compound knowledge anytime soon. Hey, another speed buff on the coil, so we could probably take firepower and put it on the assemblator, and then take accelerate here. That probably gets us close to the floor for coil speed. Second chance again, or we could go extra life on brick by brick. Second chance. I like stacking these up in case I get bamboos. I still don't have any bamboos, but they could come later. All right, so we got this weird little coil build thing happening. Hey, we're finally playing around explosive damage a little bit. What? Bro, oh my God, they had some mines that immediately killed my guy because it hit those trees, dude. That is so rude. Oh my gosh, every fight is a lot closer than I think it's gonna be, man. Oh, God. Dang, that was close again. Okay. Every fight. The Jackwagon had a killer board, man. I guess because I don't have any defense yet or anything that's... Okay, this is finally the big tree. I know it. Hey, we got the big tree, which, by the way, we've got some art in for the big tree. If you guys want to see the art for the see the art for the big tree, let me find it. Where'd it go? I know it's here somewhere. Where's the art for the big tree? Where's the art? Oh, there it is. I think I already showed... I don't know if I already showed this or not, actually. Here's the new big tree. It shows town units in it, you know? There's the old big tree. There's the new big tree. It's got houses. It's got a town inside of it, guys. It's a town of animals as well. So that's pretty cool. I think the scale, like, they are going to look a little smaller than normal buildings, but it's fine because that's where animals live. They're anthropomorphic talking animals like Zap Zap the frog. Anyway, we are taking this. We just have to figure out how the heck to fit it on our island right now, which is fine. It's going to be okay. We're just going to start, like, sucking stuff back up into the board. And then we're gonna put the tree in up here, and then we're gonna put we're gonna get some upgrades to give it extra health. No, we're not. We did not get a single health upgrade, but we can do this on the assemblator again. And then we're gonna buy this shop to get yet another post office. God knows we've got a lot of mail to send. So now we're just gonna start throwing junk out. We're gonna have to clump up our town units obviously now, because clearly, you know, we need the space. We just occupied a big old honking pile of space right there. I do want these to not touch the tree because this is a big old magnet for rockets, explosive damage and rockets. We're gonna put this back here to help absorb the damage from rockets when it tries to hit the tree. The corrupt shamans are going to buff the tree as well, and it's going to become like kind of a tank for us a little bit. Oh shoot, I got one. I'm just building out some positioning here so that we have maximum coverage for our Jeffreys. They like you to have adjacent units. The heck does this want to go? Leech is gonna hit the chameleon? That seems really bad. This is actually an ancient unit, which second chance, this one saves this twice, which is kind of a cool little bonus. Now let's put the worst units out front, which are gonna be the post offices, I think. Mechanic's actually pretty good, so let's put that there. All right, now we got a big tree, guys. We could also use a supercharger. It would impact both the assimilator and the big tree. Assimilator still really just does not have enough damage. Hey, the spellbound rocket going into the tree, which is really going into the shelter because this absorbs it. So the tree is still at 1400 health, and their board is dead. They didn't even kill the tree. Let's go, dude. Let's go. The corrupt shamans did kill adjacent guys somehow. Maybe not actually. Maybe it was just natural hits. Okay, this buffs the big tree with health. This is the worst. Yeah, I think we just buy more town units now, right? There is some argument to be made that yeah, town units. Some argument to be made that I could look for a supercharger. I don't think it's that powerful though, to be honest with you. It's just okay. Did all this like perfect positioning around. I could sell a ruby. I could sell a well. Yeah, I think I will. Well's not great for us. Could probably also sell the sunrise flower, but I think it actually will be pretty good down the road. But nothing else jumps out at me to sell, so I think it's fine. Big shop 2, another shelter. Yeah, it is a town unit, so it does count for the compound knowledge buff, which is nice. Too late for an arborist, so we'll just take another botanist. Okay, our town build is coming together, guys. We got another compound coil player, but not enough town units probably. They do have some fun power plant stuff. They do have some defense in the way, but our coil is just going off so fast. Although, man, our guy died again. Why did that die so fast again? What killed my leech? Not that it remotely mattered. What killed my leech? Did they have some, They did have one magic missile mine. It must have hit a tree and dealt 30 damage to the leech. Yeah, I don't have a lot of defense units, so actually the mines are targeting those trees back there more than I'd like. I don't think it's a problem to solve, though, to be honest with you. I don't think supercharger is better for us, really. I think we're okay. Oh. Right, it's another well. Oh, I keep getting tempted by these superchargers, the tier 5 tinker shops, but I think, again, we're just better off with town units or maybe speed buffs on compound knowledges, but I think town units are the way to go. Here we go. Dang. I think a third accelerate here is actually overkill. I don't think we need it. If anything, I would almost put it on the Scarlet Leech. That's no. That doesn't help. It's passive, the double triggering. No, that just makes my life harder. No. Maybe I'd put it on a compound knowledge. I also think Scorch is just better than spellbinding, so maybe that's the trick. Maybe we just take Scorch and put it on the coil so it can push through trees early, faster. Another well is a town unit. A corrupt shaman again. Yeah, let's put the shaman in there, I guess. I don't know where, but this is fine. Upgrade again. I'm looking for health here. Oh, man. Hey. Yeah, I wanted health on the big tree, but I'm not getting it, man. Gonna give Jeffrey that buff so the corrupt shamans all around him don't kill him. Oh, we got a big red button laser pointer build. This is cool. Okay. Not a lot of little tinkers to trigger that, but I guess the mecha dragon is going fast enough that it kind of does the job by itself, huh? But our coil gets so big so fast. Dude, this leech, bro, this leech build. I did not know this was meta, but this actually might be kind of broken. Holy moly, bro, that went even faster than normal. Jeez Louise, that was crazy. Here's some more defense units finally. Another bot buffer. I mean, honestly, yes, dude, when you have 2 dudes, I think it's worth it. It starts to feel way more worth it. These don't need to be over there. I don't know why they're over there. Blacksmith again. Yeah, sure. I want some. Dude, where are the health buffs at? Bro, I cannot find a health buff to save my life. I wanted to give Big Tree like 3 green health buffs, but they're nowhere to be found. Ooh, okay. Coil plus a lot of crystals, a lot of AoE damage there. But I think, dude, I think this Scarlet Leech plan is just ridiculous. It makes this faster. Oh, never mind. We're dying. We're dying. Are we dead? Are we dead? Oh, we're dead. Oh my God. I thought we were unbeatable there for a second. We are crazy dead. What happened? Dude, my coil dealt 15,000 damage. He just had so much on his pillar and brick by bricks that I never got to the key stuff in time because my secondary weapons suck. Wow, pillar got to 10,000. Bro, I gotta see this build again. Heiner doing silly stuff again, dude. Yeah, double supercharger, double pillar. Crystal cores also actually made this pretty nice, dude. The crystal core buff, like a ton of speed on the flame. It had a ton of damage thanks to pillar. Yeah, this actually is pretty sneaky good. Yeah, this definitely was a sleeper build because I did not expect that at all. I got completely gobsmacked there. I thought that sucked and it was great. No surprise from Heiner. Housing market, it's too late there, I think. Just give me cheap dudes. I want more cheap dudes. We could get one big defense guy maybe, but nah. I think we maybe need to think a little bit about how good small stuff is. Like right now, just spamming small stuff. Hey, finally the green guy. Spamming small stuff seems crazy powerful right now. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that exactly because we don't want to make AoE too good either, but maybe just make some of these units lower health. I'm not sure exactly, but we'll see how. We're gonna just change a lot anyway, so we'll see. Dude, again, a great crystal looking build here, man. This crystal build's made it deep. I mean, it's not gonna win, but it looked pretty cool. I mean, it did okay, man. Our build's nuts. Like that survived a while. It survived. This coil is dealing 18,000 damage so fast. Big Tree gained 1,400 health. Yeah. Okay, that was a cool little crystal build, it seemed like. Speaking of crystals, I don't think I have space for any of the good big town stuff. I would maybe put in a Scola. Hey, we found it. Nice. That was about the only thing I really think we had space for, to be honest. Hey, sure. Let's put him in too. Red crystal's pretty garbage, to be honest. I'm just gonna put it here so it's close to the leech. Yeah, we should actually sell, yeah. We can do better. Ooh, another bot buffer, dude. I don't know why, but I'm into it, man. I'm just holding down these buffer bot Scarlet Leech plays. It's weird because it may actually be kind of overkill at some stage because it's like, do you really need that many, right? Because like, you know, if I'm killing the opponent before the Scarlet Leech is killing my stuff, oh my God, dude, they are gonna light up my coil might die. Oh no, my coil might die because it's gonna hit trees so much. No, actually, okay, it wasn't that bad, actually. Okay, I think we had just enough defense in the front that it was okay. Coil, I will say the leech, of course, died though. I think we're gonna be fine here. They kind of were strong early, but then peter out fast. Yeah, I think we're totally fine. Coil got big enough off this compound knowledge is pretty wicked fast. All right, so down to the final fight, by the way, 13 trophies. We are actually gonna go net positive on points, which is not easy to do. I'm gonna look for bamboo finally. No, I will take the latchwood spore though to give my coil some extra life. Interestingly enough, that is sometimes a risk. Bamboo? Hey, we finally got it. Now I'm gonna take those, at least one of those things where you can't be killed. This guy right here. He has one, we can take his. Hey, let me click you. Put that on the bamboo, that's nice. Do we have a health buff anywhere hiding? No. I think I'm okay with the rest of my enchantment assortment. Giving extra health to your coil, it can make it a target for obelisk, which can throw big healthy stuff at it. The opponent does have 2 obelisks, but hopefully the tree survives or gets enough health. I will say Assimilator is also bigger. I'm kind of scared we're gonna get obelisks for our final fight, and I called it. I predicted it. I predicted it, man. Uh-oh. We do have 1200 health, but it still killed it. It had 1200 health and it still died, dude. Oh, I literally called it. I literally it would have been fine if I hadn't given it. It's just bad luck that we rolled an obelisk board at the same time. I will say, you know, this looks like a pretty crazy strong board anyway, because this Tinker's got 700 and this Trebuchet has 500 damage already. Big Town Hall buffs, big Schola buffs, big Tether 2000 buffs. Even their artillery repeater, like, these are insanely good weapons, dude. Pig Potty rocking it at the top of the leaderboards. But hey, we don't care because we went 13 wins, which means we're going positive. We got our 10 bonus as well for surviving to the end, and that puts us at 1630. New high for me, man. New high for me. This is the meta right now, at least for the next day or two, till it's not. This was a perfect example of the early game we were talking about, finding that coil. A little bit too consistent right now. Tree's really good because it gives all your towns so much health. Compound knowledge is scale your damage a ton. Like, this was pretty much exactly everything I wanted to showcase. This was how I got to Archmage. But I'll say, and I told Ben today, it was really hard. Like, I don't want to minimize it because, like, you have to make a lot of good decisions and you have to play a lot and you have to be really careful. But at the same time, it was kind of forcible. Like, I got to the point where I was forcing this build with some regularity. Like, you know, you don't always hit exactly what you want. Your kind of secondary weapons are often different. Your town layout will look a little different. Like, this time I went Scarlet Leech, which was weird, right? You do splash random things, but very consistently I was doing compound knowledge, Tesla coil, and riding that to victory. Sometimes tree, sometimes town hall, sometimes, you know, whatever other stuff. Which, you know, I don't mind that all the builds have town units. Like, we want town units to make up your town, you know, like, we want you to actually build a town. But the fact that they're, like, so free to enable really, really powerful stuff like compound knowledge and tree, and the fact that you're not necessarily maybe incentivized to buy bigger things as much or buy defense as much, that does feel like a little bit of a pickle to me. I think we need to figure out a way to make sure you're not just buying endless, you know, one cost shops. I don't know if that's smaller health totals on town. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe just less low cost town shops, maybe more non-town units that are cheap. Although we honestly do have some already, like, you know, mines and little nature defense and stuff. I don't know exactly what the solve is or how to think about it yet, but it does, at least right now, feel like solvability. It's too easy to force. Like, solving a board every run is a little bit too easy right now for good players, I think. And that is something that will go away as we add more units. Like, we want to hit the right number of units where it's really hard to force things, because, you know, right now, Tinker 5 shops, you're pretty likely to find coil. If you have a few more options in a Tinker 5 shop, you cut down that coil consistency. Maybe you get punished for going for Tinker 5 shops too much. You know, it starts to balance itself out as you get a bigger unit pool. But that's going to come down the road as we add more units. So I don't know, just stuff to think about, stuff to chew on. But this is a very reliable path to Archmage for the next day. So hurry, go play. Hopefully, even if you don't get to do this yourself, maybe offer some insights into the game, how to think about things, right? It's still hopefully a useful process to hear this and learn how I hit our highest rank. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Share those thoughts down below. There's links down there too to play the demo if you haven't checked it out still yet. All that fun stuff. We appreciate wishlist. Trying to get wishlist right now, so if you haven't wishlisted yet, of course, go wishlist. We greatly appreciate it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess I will see you around.